Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 9 o'clock on a Monday, which means it's time for a 5 by 5. Now, this is where I take 5 subjects related to magic. I spend 5 minutes talking about each subject, and then I move on to the next subject. It's always quick, it's always snappy. You never know what you're going to get. And today I'm doing another performer spotlight. Now, the idea of a performer spotlight is very simple. I take a magician, and I take 5 live performance videos of this magician performing live in front of an audience. And then I talk about what I've particularly learned from those videos and why this magician is so good. And I've done this to several magicians at this point, and I wanted to do it today with somebody who I have a lot of respect for. I wanted to do a 5 by 5 performance special today on somebody who I think is one of the best all-round magicians in the world, not just in the UK, but in the world. And it's somebody who a lot of people aren't going to be aware of outside of the UK, because this isn't somebody who has released thousands of products. This isn't somebody who has done millions of lectures, but this is somebody who has consistently remained on the top of their game and been one of the busiest and most successful magicians in the UK in the last 20 or 30 years. And I am, of course, talking about Michael J Fitch. Now, if you don't know who Michael J Fitch is, I want you to go ahead and watch the Talk Magic interview I did with him a couple of years ago, or a year ago. Michael J Fitch is the consummate professional. Honestly, I think that since Daryl's passed away, Michael J Fitch is probably the most deserving person I know of the mockia of the magician's magician. First of all, he is incredibly successful. He travels the world performing magic. He has, over the years, performed cabaret, performed stage, performed illusions, performed close-up. He's very proud of the fact that he does kids and family shows, but he does it in his own style. You know, he's been a big driving force behind the Magic Circle, bringing the Magic Circle convention back, a big driving force behind magic just being, you know, you can just tell when you see him, you can just tell how much he loves magic and how much he loves interacting with magicians. He is also one of the nicest, kindest people that I know, despite how much success and how much fame he's had over the last 30 years. And, you know, several of his routines are in my stage show. Life is Box of Chocolates is a perfect example of something that's in my stage show. How's That is a trick that I do all of the time. He's a legend as far as I'm concerned, and I'm so excited to bring for you a performer highlight video of Michael J Fitch. Now, I'm going to talk about 5 different routines that you're going to see performed. And the first routine that you're going to see is his version of the walking knot. Very different method to Pafel's original version. So before we do anything, let's have a look at this. This is Michael performing his version of the walking knot.
9. I used to be 9 when I was 11. Now, Matthew, if you come and stand here, just over the trapdoor, that's perfect. Matthew, I'm going to show you the first trick I ever saw. Actually, that was this one. Pull my finger. No, I better not. Watch. Keep the front, yeah, my dad does that one. Yeah. Piece of rope. Now, watch, Matthew, okay? I'm going to grab the middle. Is that the middle? No. You sure? Yes. Okay, I grab the middle. Is that the middle? No. You sure? I'll run my hand across the rope. When I get to the middle, shout, stop. Ready? That's what I said. We'll go again. 1, 2, 3. All right, Matthew, look. We know to find the middle, if I fold the rope in half into 2, like this, put the ends together, then where would you say the middle was? Very good. You deserve another badge for that. Right. Have you got a knots badge? Do you get knots badges? What's that one? Oh, very good. All righty. So, what we do is we're going to cut the rope into 2. Thank you very much. You'll see that this cuts right here in half. They are scissors, that's right. Very good. Yeah, they are a very bright crowd, NGs. They're very, very good. So, I want you to hold this bit for me. Thank you. And Jeeves, if you'd hold the other end. This is the first trick I saw. I was 4 years old. The magician cut the rope into 2. And he did an amazing thing, Matthew. He restored the rope. Fixed it. I get away with that in small villages. You do that in Mersey Island, they're amazed. Someone from Mersey over there, I've heard that. I didn't think you'd get it. The tide's over till 4. Must have a boat. Come on, let's go see that magic boy. Hey, look, if you go over this way, if you stretch it a little bit, that wasn't the amazing bit I saw when I was 4 years old. The really clever part I saw when I was 4 was where the magician picked up the knot and he moved the knot to the other end. Keep on. He moved the knot. He moved it from one end to the other. From there, all the way across to here. Now, when I first saw that, I forgot to clap as well. Leave it. I don't want sympathy. It's just a day out for you, a career for me. So he moved the knot from the middle to the other end. Oh, that's what you want to do. Oh, I see. It's very hard not to believe this, like, yes. All right, so I'll do it again. Here we go. Watch. I'll do it again. Right, tighten up and watch. Right to the other end, and got a big round of applause from everyone. From the middle to here, all the way across to here, and of course, you just undo the knot here. See, it's weird, they don't clap until I undo the knot. You watch this, it's amazing. 1, 2, 3. It's saving it, I know. Undo it, come on. Thanks. Hey, look, that wasn't my favourite part, Matthew, was where the magician took the piece of rope. He took the tiny piece. And he melted the tiny piece back on, like this. Slowly, slowly, to his left, where he started. One big piece. Hey, look. Watch this. This is amazing. Watch the ends closely. Watch the ends. Oh, wrong show. Watch. I've never seen you before, madam. Right. Front row. Watch this, Matthew. I can make the ends disappear. You'll be amazed. The disappearing ends. Da, da, da, da, da, da, da. Someone clapping from Mersey. So if I do this, the ends are in my hand, the middle in my pocket, and my back where we started with a piece of rope. There we go. Wow! You can keep that.
Now, you can actually buy this if you want to. You can actually buy the walking, his, I think he calls it the not walking knot or not a knot or something like that. You can actually buy this. He released it as a product. And what's really cool about this compared to Pavel's walking knot is that it uses a regular rope. There's no gimmick involved in this trick at all. If you know the original walking knot, it involves a very heavily gimmicked rope that you have to have in order to perform this routine. Michael's version uses just a regular piece of rope. And it's a couple of things that I learned from watching Michael do this. First of all, his performing character is great, and I think that you have to understand when people talk about characters in magic and characterization and how do I find my own character, a lot of people point to Piff the Magic Dragon or Tom Crosby and the performing nerd and people like that and say, oh, I need to find this outlandish character. Well, that's fine and that works for them, but you don't need to all of the time. You can be like Michael J Fitch and you can have this character of somebody who's kind of like a cheeky chappy, doesn't take himself too seriously, having a laugh with the audience. He knows what his style is and he plays it up perfectly. What you see in this routine is a masterclass in taking something very, very small and having it play big. With one piece of rope, he is performing to an entire theatre and captivating them and literally having them on the edge of their seat with one piece of rope. You know, sometimes you'll see magicians that run out and buy the biggest props and, oh, I'm going to perform on stage. I want this big prop. I want this big prop. I want this big prop. Whilst in reality, you don't need to do that. You can do this with just one piece of rope. And another example of this is how he's taken a trick and made it his own. Now, that's something I've spoken about a lot on this channel, where, you know, you see something that people do and you like it, but make it your own. That can be presentationally. That can be from a method point of view. It's completely up to you. And what he's done here is he's taken a classic of magic and he's gone, right, okay, that's great, but how can I make it more for me? And you know, he's ended up with a completely different routine and a completely different method, but it still has the power of the original. We're now going to have a look at a different video, and again, it's Michael performing on stage, but this time he's performing to a couple of kids that are on stage with him. and he's performing another classic of magic. One thing that you're going to learn from this video is Michael loves, or at least I can, from what I can see, he loves performing classics of magic, and this is another perfect example of a classic of magic that he's performing here, but he's performing it to a couple of kids, which I think is really important to see, because even though Michael does family shows and kid shows, he doesn't dress up as a clown. He doesn't dress up in a funny wig. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I don't want to diss clowns. I don't want to diss people that dress up really colourfully. That's absolutely fine. But Michael approaches entertainment for kids in a completely different way. He doesn't dress up. He doesn't act, he doesn't act silly really in the traditional way that a kid's entertainer does. And you'll see this in this video. So let's have a look at this right now.
I'll show you this. I just want to show you something that's all. It's really cool. How old are you? Hey, how old are you? 30? 30? Really? Really? Oh. It's winding me up. Okay, here we go. I'll show you something. This, right? Just want to show you. Have a look at that. Alistair, it's a blade. Examine it, tap it, break it, pay for it. I'll show you what it does. It's really cool, right? It goes in here, like this. And they use it in supermarkets for chopping bread rolls. They go... I just thought you might like to see it, that's all, it's not a trick. See, educational as well as fun. Now, I'll show you, it's really clever, right? Because the blade, it just goes and chops stuff. It's good, isn't it? Here, would you hold that with your left hand, that handle? Just that one, yeah? All right. You hold that other one with your right, oh, you've got it, you've done this before. Right, yeah, don't cover the star of the show. Right. See, the blade goes up there and chops bread rolls. Just thought you might like to see it, that's all. I'll put it in locking position. Just to prove they are real holes, would you put your wrist through there and wave at people? Keep your hands there a minute. I'm just going to put this on to make sure you don't move, alright? Don't panic. Where are you from? Wivenhoe. Alright, where are you from? Turkey. You come a long way to a magic show, haven't you? Goodness me. There you go. Alright, I'm just going to put these on you. Alright. Now, keep that level. Try and keep it level. Because what I'm going to do is push the blade through your wrist. I forgot to mention that bit, didn't I? Hold it nice and firm with your hands here. 1, 2! You thought that was a blade. Oh! You felt the blade! Don't move. 1, 2, 3! Uh-oh. Let go of this hand and this hand. Other hand there. Let go this one. Let go that hand there. Let go your hand. That one there. I don't know Turkish. İnsanmadı, elebidu, elehem, eledu. Eşimradu, yeah, we. Keep break. What? Oh, you can't let you out. I forgot. Sorry. About the key. You're going to laugh at this. The key is usually here, but there's nothing. So I don't have the key. Hang on. Is the key? Is it no key? And so is the key? Is the key? Is the ojalo? Okay, so you will be friends by the end of the day. So when's your flight back to Turkey? When do you fly back to Christmas, Turkey? In Christmas? Ah, Christmas, Turkey. Yeah, Christmas or Turkey. Hopefully I'll find the key by then, otherwise you might be sort of going together. Alright, there you go. This is a bit uncomfortable, isn't it, eh? Alright then, lads, see you later. You want to sit down? What? You want to go to the loo? You just have to sort of work it out. Alright, if you can go sit down then. It's the matter, as you do, and sit down. Come back in. Hey lads, hey, come here. You forgot. See you later. Thanks for helping. Thank you. Thank you very much. All the best. Goodbye. Thank you. Listen, when you clap for the rest of the show, just use both outside hands and join in together, yeah? I'm sure you can work it out between you. Be great. Sorry about that. Sorry. I'm not joking, he's like...
So the routine he's just performed there is kind of like a double wrist chopper, which is a classic of magic. I've seen people perform this for years and years and years. You don't see it very often these days, but it's a routine that's been around for a very, very long time. Now, what Michael's done here is he's taken this one simple prop and he's created a solid, 6, 7, 8 minutes of entertainment with lots of audience interaction, 2 people coming up on stage. And it's the lines, it's the bits of business, it's the engagement with the audience, it's the engagement with the kids that has really made this routine. He's taken a routine. Now, you could have somebody else perform this routine and it would just die on its arse. It would not do very well at all. But he's gone and done this routine and it's become spellbinding. And I think it's because of his audience management and because of the way he is with the volunteers. And you can see that he's not, what's the words I'm looking for? He's not your typical kids entertainer in that he's not hitting himself in the head with a magic wand or double taking or that sort of stuff. He's not doing that. But he is incredibly entertaining, not just for the kids, for the adults. And I believe that when you're doing a kid show or you're doing a show for kids and there's adults there in the audience as well, you need to play it to the adults as well as the kids. Yeah, the kids should enjoy it first and foremost, but it's something the adults should enjoy as well. Because if you're going to get booked for a future gig, it's going to be the adults that are booking you. You know, so if you can impress them, you've got more of a chance of getting repeat bookings. And you know, this is a masterclass. Go watch this video again. This is a masterclass of how to actually perform a kids show while still remaining in character and not being too overly silly. So, you know, kudos for that. Now, with that in mind, we're going to have a look at the third video now. And this is a close-up piece that he is filming to promote a particular business. And he's using the classic magic to do that. So let me show you the performance first of all, and then when you've seen the performance, I'll talk about why it's so good.
So here I have a pack of cards, and you can see they are completely shuffled. Completely shuffled. Now, this is a marked deck. You'll see it's a marked deck with these lines on the edge. Now, these are just a little, like a barcode on the edge. Gamblers use this so they can tell what the card is just by reading the Morse code on the side. Looks like a bit of a mess. But if I show you something special, this is the Turner's Shuffle. Now before I do this, I need you to pick a card. So take a card. Well, you can't take one from there. So I'm going to riffle the cards. And I want you to think of a card you see. Not the face card, that's too easy. So think of a card that you see. You didn't get one, I'll go a bit slower. Think of a card you see. Did you get one? Okay, think of that card, and please don't forget the card. If you need to write it down, because now I'm going to show you the Turner's Shuffle. Now this is the Turner's Shuffle, and what I'm going to do is I'm not going to shuffle the cards, I'm going to unshuffle the cards. Now it sounds a bit strange, but I'll show you what I mean. Now if I unshuffle these cards, if I take half the cards here, now watch my hands carefully, slowly. This is what we call in the business a misspent youth. Now watch this. I mix these cards up. You'll see the markings on the side actually start to spell out Turners. Can you see that? Look, we've got 4 Turners, Turners, Turners, Turners. That's because the suits are now getting in order, which is what they do in this place. They get your suits in order. We've got clubs, hearts, spades, and diamonds. Now, I'll do it again. I'm going to give this another Turner's Shuffle. And you can try this at home. It only takes about 22 years practice, and you might be able to get this yourself. Okay, here we go. So if I blend these cards in slowly, and here we go. Watch carefully. Another perfect shuffle, and look at the side. You can see there we have Turners twice. So now we've got all the red cards and all the black cards together. It's unbelievable, I know. Now, don't forget your card, by the way, that's the finale. And if we do this one more perfect Turner's Shuffle, just carefully making sure my hands don't go out of shot, because believe it or not, some people think I cheat. I know, it's hard to believe I get that all. Here we go, one more perfect Turner's Shuffle, watch carefully. And you'll see something amazing, that the markings on the side of the deck now spell ones, Turners. And this is the name that you need to remember to get your suits in order. Don't just take my word for it. Let me show you that this shuffle pack of cards are now in order. Here are all the spades in perfect order. Here's all the diamonds in perfect order. All the clubs and all the hearts. The whole pack of cards in order. Oh, remember you thought of a card as well? Let's just give this one more little mix. Think of the card that you saw, and if you look at the side, you'll see slowly it spells one card. That looks to me like 10 of spades. What's your card, the 10 of spades?
Okay, so what we had there is Paul Gertner's Unshuffled. Now, if you don't know the Unshuffled routine, it's an incredible routine. It first appeared in Steel and Silver, which was published by Kaufman and Greenberg, and then an updated version came out through Vanishing Ink with a gimmick a few years ago. This is the original version, the version that you just saw performed by Michael. And first of all, you can see that Michael has skills and chops, because what he's doing there, it's not easy. It's not considered an easy routine, and he did it absolutely flawlessly. But what he's done is he's obviously promoting this particular business that he's performing magic at. He's promoting this particular business, and you'll find that when you go out and you perform, there's a lot of times when you might be called on to do the same thing. Maybe it's a trade show, and I know Michael does a lot of trade shows. Maybe it's a trade show, maybe it's a product launch, maybe it's a corporate event. But there's going to be times where you have to actually tie your magic in to a particular message. And it's important that you think about how to do that, where the trick that you're doing is entertaining, but at the same time, the message is coming across to the audience. And what he's done here is he's taken this classic of magic, which involves a deck being unshuffled and then a card revelation appearing. And instead of doing that, he's gone, well, okay, I can do this, but I can literally turn it on its head, and I can use this to promote this particular business that I'm creating magic for. And when you have the ability to do that, when you have the ability to confidently pitch someone's product, or confidently pitch someone's service, or confidently promote somebody's business in a way that's entertaining and engaging and magical, but still getting the message across, not in a forced way, but in a way that's entertaining. Once you have the ability to do that, that will open up so many doors for you as a performer. And there's a lot of magicians that say, oh, I want to do trade show magic. I want to go and perform trade show magic. How did I do that? And they don't think about the fact that it involves a certain level of creativity that a lot of magicians haven't got, and they don't nurture. And this is a perfect example of somebody who, you know, has been hired to do a particular thing, and they've sat down and they've come up with a really wonderful way of doing it in a way that is magical and entertaining, but also promotes the business, which ultimately, from the person who's paying you, that's the most important thing, that the business is promoted. So this ticks every box. And realistically, if you want to do this level of corporate work, you have to take this same ability on. And one thing that I would do is look at all the routines that you have in your repertoire and say, well, okay, how can I adapt those to a particular business, and in what way can I do that? And this is obviously, I know Michael does a lot of trade shows, so this is obviously something that he's done an awful lot of, and very successfully, as you can see. Anyway, from that, we're now going to go into another routine, and this is kind of something a little bit different. Let's have a look at this one.
Another one of my favourite scams, games, which I did lose money at. A friend is in the audience, Adam, remember this years ago. This is the 3 shell game. Usually this is played with walnut shells. You know, half a walnut shell is hollowed out, and they play this with Find the P. When I got caught in this in Spain, my third lad's holiday, was there was the top of Swedes hollowed out, the top of vegetables, and you have to follow where the ball is. So we'll play just for fun. This is the connoisseur's version. These are little bowls. These are actually from Pizza Hut. Eat as much as you like. Fill it up for a £5. It's great value. Can I go back? No. Okay, so here we go. So just for fun, we're playing just for fun. You've got to tell me where the ball is, okay? So I cover it up. Where's the ball? 2, very good. I move them around now and try and confuse you a little bit. Where's the ball now? 3. Yeah, you're too good at this game, okay? So I'm reeling you in again, okay? So now we play for the money. There's the ball. I move them around. You've got to tell me where the ball is, okay? Where is the ball? 3. It's actually number 2. See, look, I'll slow it down. Watch, you can hear people going, Look at, there we go. Look, watch, I'll go slowly, watch, the ball is there. We move them around like this, you've just got to tell me where the ball is. Where's the ball? 2, 1, it's actually number 3. Look, I'll slow it down. I'll tell you what, we'll play just with 2 cups and 1 ball and 1 hand as well. Make it even more difficult for me. There we go, make sure you can see that on camera. There it is, okay, watch it carefully. 50-50, you can't phone a friend or ask the audience. 50-50, where is it? 1 or 2? It's not 1 or 2, it's over here, number 3. See, now look. Yes, indeed. Oh, thank you. Now, look, I'll tell you what. We'll put a little mark on it so you know where it is. You know it's there. You know it's here. Look, covered up here. I'll put a cup on top so you know exactly where it is. Okay, so there it is. It's on the cup. It's on the cup. Okay, so I'm going to try and confuse you. Okay, so here we go. And of course, you go here, but actually it's over here. The cup on top of the cup. There you go. Thanks. Even if we cover it up here with a glass, you know it's the one with the glass on top. And I move them around like this and try and confuse you like this. And of course it vanishes from here and as is over here. Thank you very much. There you go. You can't win. Even if you guess exactly where it is, you can't win. So it's a good lesson to be learning. You really can't win. A lot of people think I've got another ball. They think I've got another ball over here and another ball over here, as well as the ball in the middle. But the truth is, there is only one ball. It's not this one, it's not this one, it's not this one. It's the one underneath the glass, this one here. And that is the 3 shell game. There you go.
What you just saw was a performance of the 3 shell game, and it was a performance of the 3 shell game, but it was to a big audience on stage, but there was a camera and everything was projected up onto a screen so that everybody could see. And you saw the reactions from the audience. They absolutely loved it. The thing is, people love close-up magic. People love sleight of hand. And the problem with performing on stage is a lot of the time it's very, unless you're doing card manipulation or billiard ball manipulation or something like that, it's very difficult to bring that level of sleight of hand to a stage audience. So how do you do that? Well, I wanted to include this video to showcase to you that it's absolutely fine to do close-up magic if it's something that everyone in the audience can see. Jamie Allen talks about this. If you go back and you look at the RSVP DVD set, and I believe that they are now available on RSVP Online by Russ Stevens. If you go back and you look at that those DVD sets, he talked in great detail about how you can take close-up tricks and make them work for a huge audience by projecting them up onto a screen as part of a video presentation. And I believe, it's been a long time since I watched those videos, but I believe he talked about doing it with cartoon, which is obviously something that Jamie Raven later went and did on Britain's Got Talent and really kind of cemented his legacy doing that. So, you know, if you're booked, one thing that people ask me all the time is, you know, how do I transition as a close-up magician to a stage magician? What do I do? Well, you can still do the same stuff, but you need to just make sure that you're performing it in an environment in which it can be appreciated by the audience in front of you. If you have a way of projecting that up onto a screen that everybody can see, then it's going to become as impressive as anything else that you could possibly do in your show. Think about the times that you've seen. I can think of numerous acts on America's Got Talent and Britain's Got Talent that have used this to great effect. Look at Izzy Simpson in one of her performances, I can't remember which one, where she was doing stuff on a close-up pad and coins were jumping all over the place and cards were changing and everything. And that was projected up onto a screen and it got an incredible reaction. Look at Eric Chen, he's another example. This is a perfect example of how to engage an audience by using the tools that you have at your disposal. If you are a close-up magician and you want to perform on stage, that's absolutely fine. It's perfectly okay to do that. And this is one way to do that. Anyway, we're now going to look at one final trick. And this final trick is a masterclass, in my opinion, of how you can actually engage a big corporate audience from stage and get everybody involved.
Now's the time to open it. And this is a record. This is the most amount of people I can perform this with. So we're going to video this as well. I'm going to make sure you get to see this somewhere online. Okay. Open the envelope. Inside the envelope, you will see we have different front covers of newspapers here. Okay, and magazines. You should have 4, face down, and shuffle them up for me. You have to tear the paper in half like this, all of them together as one, and then place one half on top of the other. Doesn't matter which side. Right, I've never taught this to this many people with this much wine. Now, I want you to take the top piece without looking at it and either sit on it or put it under a plate. Put it somewhere. If you've done that, give me a yeah! This lot are very, very good. That's it. I've got a feeling it's going to work with everybody. Now, listen up. You're very good. Take the top two pieces and put them in the middle. In the middle. Shove it in the middle. Have you done that? Take the top three pieces. Make sure there's only three. 1, 2, 3. And swap them with someone next to you. Swap those top three pieces with someone next to you. I need to come down here. You swap it with me. Still what we're saying. Once you've done that, put those three pieces in the middle. In the middle. Make sure you put them in the middle. If you've done that, yeah! Right, take the top two pieces, and throw them away. Good. That's why we don't use real candles anymore. Now, for this to work, you need to spell my name. One from the top to the bottom for each letter. Spell M. Next one, I, C, H, A, E, and L. Have you done that? Give me a yeah! That's not very good. Now, this is it, the final. Take the top piece and place it in the bottom. Take the next top piece, throw it away. Take the next top piece, put it on the bottom. And keep doing that until you're left with one piece in your hand. In that order. If you've got one piece in your hand, yeah! Right, ladies and gentlemen, if this works, they are going to go crazy. Remember that piece you're sitting on or under a plate. Grab it. And let's see if you perform the miracle. Turn them over, see if you're perfect.
Okay, so the final routine, what that you just saw, was I've got it written down here as interactive magic, and it is obviously what you just saw, Michael entertaining a room full of people in a corporate style event using something that got every single person in that room involved. Now, I will tell you, I've performed many, many times in the environment that Michael was in that video there. It is a very difficult environment to perform in. It is a very difficult environment to perform in. There's lots of individual tables. Some of them are more invested in the performance than others. And it's very difficult to get everybody involved. And in my opinion, what you just saw there was a masterclass in how to actually do that effectively and how to do that and engage every single member of the audience. You know, sometimes one of the big ways that you can become successful as a stage magician is by thinking through the material in which you're performing and making it interactive. You know, if you can interact with every single individual person in that room, then they're going to have a more personal experience, and that's what Michael's done there. It reminds me of a Woody Harrigan trick. I'm not sure what the trick is. It reminds me of Woody Harrigan trick. It might be, it might not. I'm not too sure. But the point is, he's got this particular routine. Everybody's following along with him, and see how he's encouraging the applause. See how he's getting the energy in the room up. These are all skills that, as a stage magician, especially going into this sort of environment where, you know, it's not a theatre show. They haven't bought tickets to see you, and instead it's you know, it's more of a corporate style thing. I imagine that Michael was the host there. You know, when you go into these sort of environments, it can sometimes be a little bit harder to get people invested in what you're doing. And the fact that Michael's gone out there and absolutely killed it, in my opinion, with just a few pieces of paper, just shows the quality of the performer he is. And it's stuff like this that really, to me, showcases why I think he's one of the best in the business right now in the UK, and that there's nobody even coming close to touching him. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else to say about this performance other than go back and watch it again, because genuinely it is a masterclass in how to perform to a large group of people where they're literally all over the place and get every single person engaged in your performance. So there you go, guys. That's another 5x5 in the bag. This one is, as I say, a performer special on Michael J Fitch. If you want to see more about Michael J Fitch, I've done a couple of interviews with him over the years. I did an interview with him last year about the Magic Circle convention coming back, and I did an interview with him earlier on over COVID. I think it was late 2020, where I interviewed him about his career and talked about all the different things that he'd done. He's an incredible magician. He's a really super nice guy. Do me a favor, leave a comment down below and let me know what you think of the video. And also, if you want to see a performer spotlight on another performer, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to be back again with another video very soon. So if you want to see more videos, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below, and don't forget you can join the Netrix. It's very, very simple. You just go to www.thenetrix.com. That's www.thenetrix.com. Go and check it out and see what all the fuss is about. I will see you again soon. Thank you so much for watching. My name's Craig from Magic TV.